First heat race is coming onto the track momentarily. That will be the MLM Diagnostic Pure Stock Division. Great round of folks here to participate. Day number one, and a gorgeous day it is here in Hudson, New Hampshire. While we have a minute, if you haven't had a chance, and I just watched a new item on the Sunday menu. The Sunday menu over at the Ice Cream Shack just happens to be ice cream with nachos. And, you know, if you know anything about Mark Beaudry, the king of Nastrovision here, he is the food connoisseur when it comes to track officiating. So if you can't believe in that cat, he definitely loves food. Also on tap today, folks, we will have the Granite State Gun Range 6-shooters, Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners will make their return, Northeast Auto Import late models, and we will conclude with the Nastro Modified Division. We have an action-packed series of racing here at the high banks of the Hudson International Speedway. And remember, if you can't be with us, you can be with us For some reason, if you can't be here to smell the smells, see the sights, you can watch it at home at nastravision.com. It is on pay-per-view. You can subscribe throughout the racing season, and you can see all the local tracks from Monadnock Speedway, Claremont Motorsports Park, Lee USA Speedway, and here at the Hudson International Speedway. All right, as they take to the track, in the 31 out of Center Barnstead, New Hampshire, that is Sarah Hodgson. To her outside, in the 56 mask, out of Troy, New Hampshire, Scotty Blanchard. He runs the Shaggin' Wagon out of 65 Vermont, out of Springfield, Vermont. That is Doug Nelson. Joining us today, and put your hands together for him in the 16 out of Winchester, New Hampshire. Happy birthday, Chris Davis. In the 4, he's been the Young Gun Dominator. He's got multiple wins already in 2023, making Claremont, New Hampshire his home. In the 4, that is Colton Martin. To his outside, out of Auburn, Massachusetts, in the 40, that is Lily Daniels. Next on the grid, in the 1 New Hampshire, he is a hot shoe making his way through this division. That is Carlos Grenier. And taking tail, Marshall, Missouri, shows as her hometown. In the 21X, that is Mackenzie Boucher. 10 laps is the run today. This is heat race 1. Chief starter Joe Breggy's got the double upside. We're getting ready for action. Field is set. Hodgson will have control of the point. Nelson to her outside. The crafty veteran and Chris Davis, the 4 of the new hot shoe in Colton Martin, Grenier, Daniels. As they come to the bumpies out of service restart zone, we take the first green here at the Hudson International Speed, and we're 3 wide going into turn 1 and 2. Oh, Doug Nelson. Contact from Hodgson and no let off. Nelson has spun around going out of turn number 2. Caution on the speedway. For you folks at home at watching on Astrovision, that was a constant good hot shoe in the Shaggin' Wagon. Hodgson never lifted in that 31. She was trying to get him to correct it himself, and she will pay the penalty and head to the rear of the field. Race control says probably ought to give him a little room. We are Heat 1, Race 1 of the 2023 season here at the Hudson International Speedway. We thank you folks for joining us today.
I can crop in a little bit more, but I'm not going to get a side-by-side here in front of me. But I'll be closer on the corners if you want me to do that.
A late entry into the 0, that is Matt Pion, racer normally at the Cement Palace of Seekonk, Mass. We'll love to see new folks here. Chris Davis, Colton Martin, going to get to refire this time. Does the birthday boy have anything for the young hot shoe in Colton Martin? Grenier, Daniels. right, down the back stretch. In the position, ready to take the green. Into the bumpies, out of service, restart, so green is out. Davis takes the gun and puts the long skinny pedal on the right down, taking off. Now, here comes Martin and Grenier. Grenier looking to charge Martin into that second spot, will dive into turns 3 and 4, looking to the inside. Not going to get it done that time as they cross the stripe. Chris Davis being the dominator today. Battle ensues for second spot between Colton Martin and Carlos Grenier. Ten laps is the distance. We've got 3 this time in the books. Chris Davis still with a commanding lead. Swings at 16 coming into turn number 1. Looking to the outside. Trying a different groove. Looking to see which setup's going to work best for it. He now gets a little slide out of turn 3 and 4. Martin may be watching that front car. Again, problems on the 65 for Doug Nelson. Gets it righted. Leaders coming to lap cars. We've seen interference caused before. Nelson, a veteran racer, stays down to the inside, but now the crafty young shoe of Martin look to the inside of Davis. He almost used Nelson as a pick. Lap cars again, now the 56 Maz of Blanchard. Martin looks to the left rear corner, gets the fender there, and then wisely backs away. Now going to try the top side, but that's opening up a hole for Grenier. Chris Davis losing the handle on the 16. Martin down the back stretch looks to take the lead and does, taking Grenier sliding sideways. He'll get by Davis as well. Chris Davis, Carlos Grenier now door handle to door handle in turns 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Davis has the advantage. They dive into the corner. Grenier seems to have the better stick. Now advantage Chris Davis back to the second spot. Our young gun, Colton Martin, in that 4. That is the Martin Family Racing sponsored 4 out of Claremont, New Hampshire. Checkered's gonna fly. Colton Martin, Chris Davis, Carlos Grenier. Battle further back, dusting up the hydro seating. It's Daniels, Hodgson, and Pyle. Doug Nelson will be in the bottom spot. Knowing Doug in that shaggin' wagon, he'll get the work done on that it needs. All right, as track officials will go out, do a little inspection, make sure the grass seed and the dirt is off the racing surface. Next to hit the circuits here at the Hudson International Speedway will be the Granite State Gun Range 6-shooters. 2 heats of 6-shooters. Cart counts are really stout. Coming around in that division, we're great and glad to see that. right, here we go, folks. 6 shooters, heat race number 1 for 2023. In the pole position, interesting where he calls home, Greenville, Mississippi. In the 20, that is Chris Chadwick. To his outside in the 17, one of 2 17s you'll see out on the 6-shooter division today. Out of Tingsboro, Massachusetts, that is Peter Jarek. Next on the grid in the 77, out of Fall River, Massachusetts, that is Robert Taylor. To his outside, the crafty veteran for the 6-shooter division in the 43, making Lebanon, New Hampshire, is Gary Grenier. We watched this gun take his first dual at the dog race at Monadnock last weekend and finished second to his son at the Claremont Motorsports Park this past Friday night. In the 68 from Greenfield, New Hampshire, that is Steve Miller Sr. And taking tail to the outside, or the inside, out of Sandown, New Hampshire to 00, that is Jeff Gilman Jr. 10 laps is the distance. Chadwick will lead us to green. Jarek to the outside. Grenier, Miller, and Gilman. Joe Breggy says it is green go time. Jarek with the jump tops the top spot going into 1 and 2. Steve Miller Sr. working the outside in the 68. Chadwick down on the bottom. Chadwick and Miller side by side looking for that second position. Miller will take the advantage as they cross the line, and now Chadwick all kinds of sideways. Will also Gary Grenier in the 43 uses that advantage, opens the hole, he'll take the 3rd spot. Now to the inside, Miller looks to the inside of the 17 of Jarek. That 68 car has been stout everywhere it runs. The Thibodeau Racing Harpoon Brewery sponsored 68 for Steve Miller Sr. All over the rear bumper. Oh, Jarek upset in now. Miller dives to the inside. He'll take the top spot. Not yet, he says. Jarek says not going to let that happen, but here they are. Rubbing is racing. Miller and Jarek not willing to give each other an inch. Miller now finds the preferred line, and the 68 will jet to the front of the field. Steve Miller comes high out of turn number 4. Peter Jarek looking to get that spot back. The 20 of Chadwick still having issues with the handling, or what we formerly call the rear steer. Steve Miller Sr. looking to pace the field. Peter Jarek, a great veteran driver in the 17. Slides that 17. He's just testing to make sure it will curve around that corner. Steve Miller Sr. looking to open up a 4 or 5 car length lead. He never is anything but no holes barred. They call him the Space Cowboy for a reason. He's definitely figured out that 68 car. I saw him at the Claremont Motorsports Park digging in, and I believe digging in by being the trunk is where he was working from. 1 lap to go. Miller still has that commanding lead. Jarek in second, Grenier in third. Taking victory, heat number 1, Steve Miller Sr., Peter Jarek, Gary Grenier, Chris Chadwick, and the 00 of Jeff Gilman Jr. That is heat race number 1 for the Granite State Gun Range 6-shooter division. Get them all in staging now for heat number 2. Heat number 2, starting on the pole in the 22, Seabrook, New Hampshire is home base. That is Adam Knowles. to his outside. We've seen her multiple times at the Lee USA Speedway. This crafty young lady is looking for victory lane out of Sanford, Maine. This is Tristan Bodwell. In the 67, they call her Jenna the Jet. Jenna makes her home out of Merrimack, New Hampshire, and it is the beautiful 67 of Jenna Bolio. Next, in the 25 NH, that is Pelham, New Hampshire's Michael Yetton. And fresh off a victory at the Claremont Motorsports Park in the 79, making Grantham, New Hampshire his home, this is Steve Miller Jr. Miller Jr. runs with a nickname, the Gangster of Love. If you haven't seen the Nastrovision replay from Claremont on Friday night, you should definitely watch it because Victory Lane was all about awesome. All right, 10 laps is the distance. Adam Knowles is on the inside. Tristan Bodwell, second-generation driver out of Sanford, Maine in the 17X. Jenna Bolio, Michael Yetton, and the crafter, the Gangster of Love in the 79. Green is ready to fly. We have start heat number 2. Knowles takes the advantage on the inside. 3 wide. Bodwell gets the victim of that 3 wide as Steve Miller Jr. and Michael Yetton chasing Jenna Bolio coming in the 67, the Jetster. She's looking for a victory lane. Adam Knowles has the 22 dialed in, dialed up, and ready to go. Battle ensues for third between Steve Miller Jr. and Michael Yetton. Yetton in competition has always been a good runner with the 6-shooter division. We can't thank enough Granite State Gun Range for coming on to sponsor this house division. Adam Knowles in the 22. Bolio in the 67. Michael Yetton in the 25. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79. And on the tail, Tristan Bodwell in the 17. I got a chance to talk with her in the pits earlier. She had a smile from ear to ear. She's hoping for a better finish this season, multiple better finishes in the 17 car. Of course, her dad is Bobby Bodwell, longtime racer at the out of Maine, working with us. He's been at the Lee USA Speedway, the New Hampshire Center of Speed. Such a great family of racers. Robbie is just such a gentleman's gentleman to talk to. Former competitor at the Beech Ridge Speedway in Maine. Adam Knowles in the 22. Jenna the Jet in the 67 is in second spot. Michael Yetton in the 25 is your third place position at this point. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79. Still trying to work that back bumper, finding the line. Maybe it's just a little different than he's used to at the other speedways that he runs. Popsicle sticks in the air. We got 2 laps more to get it done. White flag is out. Adam Knowles looking to see checkers for the first time in his heat race number 2. Adam Knowles sends it into turns 3 and 4. Coming through the Bumpy's Auto Service zone. Checkered's going to go out. Adam Knowles is your winner. Jenna the Jet in for second. Michael Yetton, Steve Miller Jr., Tristan Bodwell. They'll round out the field and we'll get set for their 25-lap feature event later this afternoon. Next, hitting the track is the Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners. I just noticed and got a word for the Black Flag. Yeah, let me get that out. The Black Flag Podcast Tavern is open if you are of age, and if you are, we'd love to see you there and partake in a beverage or two if you need. Remember, you still do need to drive home, so drive safely and drive accordingly. All right, heat number 1. Ridge Runners. Basically a 305 V8 automatic, some or some over. We saw Dave Cameron be dominating in this division at multiple tracks. Lee USA Speedway, also here at the Hudson International Speedway. In the 32, out of Manchester, New Hampshire, is Tyler Johns. Making the first round here in the 06X. Give it up for Chrissy Rizzuto. Auburn, New Hampshire is where she calls home. Next on the grid, in the 5, that is Nashua, New Hampshire's Brandon Mercier. In the 7, Drought, Massachusetts, Richard Morocco. In the 76, Nottingham, New Hampshire, that is Heather DeButz. Next on the grid in the 37 is Nottingham, New Hampshire, home base of Zachary Frazier. In the 59, give it up for Kaylee Osborne. Kaylee making the wheel out of the 59. First laps, first ready to go, first heat out in the O2 MA. That is Joey Gardner out of Whitnam, Mass. Next on the grid is Nottingham, Mass. Joe Frazier in the 37J, and we're ready to go. Doubled up, says Chief Flagger Joe Breggy. Who likes the looks of that 5, that Ford Torino of all cars? Talking with that young man in the pits, Brandon had great aspirations. He says, you know what? It went better than I thought it was going to. I guess that's a start. Johns is going to set the pace. Mercier will be to his outside. So this is Chevy versus Ford. Here we come. Ready to go through the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone. Green is going to fly in. Diving into. Whoops. Gonna get the 59 rewrited. Kaylee's got it going back on the track. Challenge now is the 7 of Morocco, looking to the back bumper of Johns. He'd love to take that inside spot. Dives it into turns 1 and 2. Not going to happen that time. He's going to resize as they come down the backstretch, and he drops the hammer coming into turns 3 and 4. Monte Carlo versus Camaro. Who's got the better stick? John still is your leader. Morocco. Heather DeButz of the 76 doing a great job working through the middle of turn number 1, but now getting the pressure of the 37J of Zachary Frazier. A little chuck dive and slide coming through out of turn number 4. Trying to save the 7, does so. Now gets squirrely coming down the backstretch. Morocco powering the hammer pedal, and now using that to the advantage is the 37J. That is Joe Frazier in the 37J. Making it work. Now he's setting his sights right to Butch. There's John, the 76, coming in and down the front stretch. Johns now is going to see some heat and pressure coming out of the 37J. Up too high on the outside, giving some racing room, and now Frazier drives it in hard, coming out of turns 1 and 2. He's going to take the top spot away from John. That was all he was waiting for, is one mix-up. Two laps remain. Joe Frazier, now your leader in the 37J. Tyler Johns. Morocco slides through turns out of turn 4. Coming to the checker, heat race number 1 for the Ridge Runners, and it's Joe Frazier. Frazier, followed by Johns. Heath DeButch, what a great job in that car. Great job. Found the handle coming in late. Knows which groove he's going to use for the feature. All right, folks, we've got multiple heats in, multiple heats down. We're going to have 3, I count them 3, of the Northeast Auto Import late models. Starting in position number 1 in the 38 out of Methuen, Massachusetts, that is Nick Prenovo. To his outside in the 37 out of Tingsboro, Massachusetts, that's Randy Mercier. Next on the grid on the inside out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that is the 33 JR for William Clement Jr. Next on the grid out of Salem, New Hampshire in the 33X, that is Daniel Palin. Dracut, Massachusetts is where he calls home. That is the 33 for Chuck Dehaney. And taking up tail, the everlasting, always hard competitor out of Nashua, New Hampshire in the 30. That is Andrew Morin. 10 laps is the distance for heat race number 1 of 3. Great to see the car counts in the Northeast Auto Imports late model division. Joe Breggy saying, gentlemen, you know where the zone, the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone is line and green. The 38 of Pareto side by side with Mercier, and now the orange 33 Junior, we're going to call it. That is William Clement Jr. Drives that car down in. That 33 Junior looking really solid in practice and not going to show anything different. Now to the back bumper of the 38. Nick seeing all kinds of heat. Clement Jr. working that rear bumper. Looks to the inside, coming out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. He has got the fish line hooked and sinker. Wants to get around. Now going to try the outside. The block gets shown by the 38, but that gives the 33X of Palin the opportunity to go underneath both of them. Palin and Clement. Clement all over the back bumper of the 33X of Palin. Andrew Morin in the 30, now coming up through the field. Has he got enough laps to get to the front? Palin looking really strong, wants to hold his line. Clement's tried low, he's tried high, looking to cross him over as they come out of turn number 4. Palin will still remain in the lead. Clement Jr. looking for the spot, waiting for the door to open, or for Palin to make sure his line gets shuffled. So far, Palin just holding that wheel right where he needs to go. Going to come to 2 to go, this time by Daniel Palin, still holding off the hard-charging William Clement Jr. Oh, now a little tap, a little slide. Palin says, not going to make me mess up that way. You're going to have to work for this one. We've got 1 lap more to get it done. Does Clement works to the outside, now down the backstretch, looking to take heat race number 1 victory in the Northeast Auto Imports. Oh, Clement sideways. Oh, down to the wire. Palin will hold Clement off. What a great side-by-side show those gentlemen put on for you. Great job. Nick Preneview will take the podium spot. Andrew Morin in the 30 will take that 4th place position. Second heat race number 2 for our Northeast Auto Imports late models. I'm getting used to it, folks. I'm trying. In the 8, starting on the pole out of Westford, Massachusetts, that is John Souza. To the outside in the 21X, Derry, New Hampshire is where he calls home. That is Mitchell Wendell. The Streeter Construction sponsor, CJ's Auto 55. That is Canaan, New Hampshire's Robbie Streeter. Saw a great run out of this gentleman at the Claremont Motorsports Park Friday night. In the 07 out of Franklin, New Hampshire, that is Mike Williams. Next on the grid, when we were here last year, I watched this gentleman just wheel this car. In the 66K, Haverhill, Massachusetts native, that is Chris Schroeder. And starting in the back, out of the Lucky 13, out of Kingston, New Hampshire, that is Stephen Du Bois. Again, 10 laps to see who's going to stoot the place. Who's going to place better than who? Sousa and Wendell side by side, but there's some heavy hitters that'll come out of the back. Green is out. Wendell jumps to the outside, middle through the corner. Sousa's got pinched down. Side by side as they dive into turns 3 and 4. Now Wendell is able to work that top side, slides up a bit to take the top spot as they cross the line. Travis Wendell, John Sousa, Williams, Streeter, Schroeder, and Du Bois. It is anyone's event to take the checkered here in heat race number 2 for the Northeast Auto Imports late model division. And now Wendell says, I'm done with that. But here comes Mike Williams, hard charging on the outside. He's got the 07 sights set for Sousa. Gets onto the outside as they dive into turns 1 and 2. Robbie Streeter looking to get into the mix, tries the inside. Maybe Sousa makes a mistake. Maybe Williams makes a mistake, but I'll tell you what, if they do, the 55 and the 66 are ready to take those spots away. We're halfway this time by, and Mitchell Wendell is the leader. Battle ensues for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. John Sousa, Mike Williams, both side by side, door handle to door handle. Down the backstretch, Sousa seems to get the 8 rewrited as it goes down the straightaway, not so much in the corner. Robbie Streeter dives to the inside, Sousa to the inside, making Williams work the high line. Williams in the 07. Wendell taking off and watching the battle in his mirror go on. Now Streeter looks to the inside of Sousa. The battle between the 55 and the 8. Robbie Streeter works the inside groove. Into 1 and 2. Streeter will have like a, there he goes. He's got it stuck to the bottom, bringing Schroeder right with him. White flag. We've got one more lap to get it done. Wendell doing such a great job running out in front with that beautiful orange and white hot rod. Robbie Streeter's going to take the 2nd spot. Chris Schroeder going to be in your 3rd position. Oh, and Williams will battle Sousa for the 4th spot. What a great job. What a great car count for our Northeast Auto Imports late model division. All right, as we set to get heat number 3, again, if you have the inkling and would like an adult beverage, please take a run over to the Black Flag Tavern, Podcast Tavern. They'd love to have you. They'd love to be able to serve you something of condition. All right, heat race number 3 in the 91. That is the Hagar Painting Sunday Drive Cannabis-sponsored 91. This gentleman has never run this track before. That is Windsor, Vermont's Robert Hagar. Hagar in the 91 to his outside. Track champion from the Lee USA Speedway from last season. 2022 was an awesome year for him. In the 08, that is Milton Duran. A great time I had chatting with this gentleman and his father out of Tingsboro, Massachusetts in the 88. This is second year of full-time racing in the late model division, but he's got a lot of things. One memory he shared with me is he also is a second-generation driver, and his dad had the most second-place finishes here at the Hudson International Speedway multiple times. Getting the victory in front of his dad was Peter Fiandaca. We've lost Peter, the traveling man, this season, and what a great story to share. Next, in the 45, that is Oscar Leclerc. The 22 is Austin Erickson, and Tim Smithers is in the 60. Hagar, for someone who's never wheeled this track before, he looks like he's found his way around. Challenge now for the third spot as Erickson drops the hammer, looking to the low line, take the third spot. John Vinyl says that's not going to work. We're going to earn this one. Erickson will take it with Wolf on the first lap. Hagar, Duran, Erickson, Vinyl, Oscar the Grouch in the 45. Robert Hagar, out of Windsor, Vermont, would love to see any type of checkered. He said last year he had kind of a season. No victories last year, but he's here by himself, a crew of him and his buddy. They decided to make their way here to the Hudson the Hudson International Speedway. And we're so glad to have everyone here today. Hagar, Duran, Erickson, Vinyl, and Smith. Oscar Leclerc in the 45 now challenges Vinyl for the bottom, but here comes Duran looking to take this top spot away from Hagar in the 91. Takes the 08, hits the long skinny pedal on the right. He'll take advantage and take the top spot as they cross the line. Milton Duran, such a mild-mannered young man to talk to in the Renfrew Racing sponsored 08. He saves his talents working the wheel. Now Erickson to the back bumper, looking to take one more spot. Austin Erickson down to the inside, Hagar to the outside. They are side by side going into turns 3 and 4. Erickson's got the nose and the car by as they cross the start-finish line. Austin Erickson, what a great wheelman behind the 22. Now, does he have enough time to chase Duran with one lap to go? Joe Breggy, our chief flagman. Ryan Lawless is his assistant right directly behind him. Such great people. Checkered's going to wave. Milton Duran is your winner. Austin Erickson, Robert Hagar, and Oscar Leclerc will round out heat number 3. Well, we also want to take this opportunity to let you know that the schedule here at the Hudson Speedway is action-packed all season long. Today, May 14th, is our opening day. The Choppy Baldwin Memorial will be May 29th. Back here on June 4th. And then the excitement of the 350 Supermods will be here June 11th. You don't want to miss that by any means. Super Modifieds, can only imagine. We clocked a Super Modified at the Monadnock Speedway 2 years ago, and it was 116 miles an hour across the front stretch. I can only imagine what this high bank quarter mile would turn a Super Modified at. June 18th, we're here for the Stand Up for Cancer Jeremy DeSorcy Memorial. Then, the Mighty Mike Memorial. I know this gentleman meant such a great deal to all the competitors and the staff here at the Hudson International Speedway. Laps are still available for purchase. Let's just honor him in such a way. All right, set to take time. In the 69, that is Josh Carey in the 69. Carey, loop it a little bit, get some heat into the tires. These guys will be time trialing. Carey setting up the 69. Looking good, looking stout. Has had many a solid run. On the clock. 13,155. 13,155. Oh, broke the 13 mark at 12,989. All right, next taking to the grid. I love talking to this young man in the pits. In the 44, that is Jesse Jacobitis. Look at that 44 wind up. He'll dive into turn number 3 and 4. Take his first lap. 17. Not official, I'm told. Having a few technical difficulties with our timing official. 184. 13,184. Betters that equal to Carey's time at 12,989. How many times have you ever seen exact times made by two separate competitors? Very rare. Next on the grid, in that beautiful, and I mean beautiful, pink-colored car, we can't thank this gentleman enough. That is the MLM Diagnostics Master for Mike Marshall. Marshall does so much for racers because he had so much help when he started his racing career. Mike also does a great job with the Hudson Heroes program here, and we can't thank him enough for what he does. Let's see if he can drop the hammer coming out of turn number 4, looking to take lap number 1 time. 13,453. Looking to better it. Comes through in out of the middle of turn number 4. 13,227. 13,227. Making third on the grid, third one out. Right now, Carey holds the fastest time, setting the time of 12.989. In the 2, the Triton Automotive sponsored 2 modified. He's last season's champion at the Monadnock Speedway in a modified. Give it up for Hatfield, Massachusetts, Tyler Leary. $13,062. Leary would love to better that. $13,002. 13,002. Making third fastest. Out of Croydon, New Hampshire, that's where he makes his home, coming off a victory 2 weeks ago at the Claremont Motorsports Park, followed it up with a second place this past Friday night. They call him affectionately the Superman in the 29 New Hampshire. That is Aaron Fellows. Fellows has really found some great help in a couple of gentlemen. You might recognize the name of Matt Hirschman and his dad, Tony. And if you haven't seen the Facebook poster, would Lily have some affection for Brian Roby in the 25? You'll have to see it to believe it. We'll let you see what you see. Tops the pole at a 12.894. Give it up for Aaron Fellows, who's found the speed in the 29 New Hampshire. Ridemore is the sponsor. This is the primary car out of Merrimack, New Hampshire. Put your hands together. This is Jeff Rollins. Rollins, always a solid competitor. Near get a victory here last season with a touring division. Rollins would look to put down fast time. $13,017. Definitely found the groove. He's got the hot pedal going. Here he comes out of turn number 4. 12.946, making him second fastest to our point today. Great job by Jeff Rollins and that team. All right, we are concluding modified time trials as we speak. We're going to take about 5 minutes to do some resetting that we need to do in the technical aspect here in the tower. Take a break for a second. Enjoy some of the food that's here at the Hudson International Speedway. If you have an inclination, the Black Flag Podcast Tavern is open, and we'd love to have you partake. And never forget about the sundae, the fresh ice cream that's here. Make the sundaes and the new nacho sundae that takes place. It'll be awesome. We'll be right back, folks. Apologies. We'll start with Chuck Dehaney. Chuck Dehaney was the winner of the late model in the 33, the white 33. I'll get that right yet. Field being given the signal to double up. This is 25 laps for the MLM Diagnostic Pure Stocks. On the pole, Claremont, New Hampshire, that is Colton Martin is outside. Chris Davis in the 1 New Hampshire, that is Carlos Grenier. In the 40, Laylee Daniels. Sarah Hodgson is the 31, the 0 Mass. That is Matt Pion out of Attleboro. Doug Nelson is in the shagging wagon, and we're not throwing the green. Caution is back out. Too much of a jump, Mr. Young Colton. Too much of a jump. Everybody wasn't in position. To finish off in the 56 Mass, that is Scotty Blanchard. Next on the grid in the 21, that'll be Mackenzie Brochures. Flagman Joe Breggy is going to give him a little instruction. They need to be side by side. Martin sets the pace, but he can't jump the gun. Here we go. Tightening up the field down the back stretch. 25 laps is the distance. Martin with multiple wins, a multiple track champion in the 16 of Chris Davis, the birthday boy. Green is going to fly this time by. Davis will take the jump out to the front. Takes the 16, rolls it out of turns 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Daniels having a little tough time with the 40. Colton Martin now going to put some pressure, kind of reel in the 16 of Davis. Carlos Grenier in the 1 New Hampshire, the JP Trucking sponsored 1 New Hampshire out of Claremont, New Hampshire. Will be your third place at this point. Grenier looking to get the wheel going on the 1 New Hampshire. Nelson still having some issues with the shaggin' wagon, but he'll be in 5th spot. Hodgson in 4th. Chris Davis is your leader. Has that 16 dialed up, ready to go. What a victory it would be if the birthday boy were to take this. Colton Martin would love to notch another belt in the steering wheel to see if he can make that 4, the Martin Family Racing 4, into victory lane. Carlos Grenier right behind the 4 of Martin in the 1 New Hampshire. We're 5 down, 20 more laps to get it done here at the beautiful Hudson International Speedway. Davis finds the middle line as they come across the stripe this time by. Will still be your leader. Colton Martin in the 4 in 2nd spot. Carlos Grenier. Sarah Hodgson in the 31. Doug Nelson in the 65 Vermont. And now some challenge further back as Daniels gets upset, goes high, and the 21 of Mackenzie Brochures will take that spot away from Daniels. The 0 of Matt Pion, racer at the Seekonk Speedway for many, many seasons. They were off. He came to run here. We thank him for joining us here at the Hudson International Speedway. Mother's Day. It's Sunday. We can't thank you folks enough for joining us here at the Hudson International Speedway, watching Chris Davis dominate so far. The hot shoe in the 4, Colton Martin. He is a young gun making a mark for himself. He's got multiple victories already in the 2023 season. He was a victor at the Duel at the Dog at Monadnock Speedway. Has a beautiful trophy to show for that. He'd like to take another one down. Oh, the 21, Brochures is sideways, bringing out the caution. Is this the opportunity for the opportunist? Colton Martin has weaved his way through many a leader this season, finding the opportune time at the right time, the right place. got his first victory when two of the hard competitors at the Claremont Motorsports Park were dueling it out. He snuck right through. Out of trouble, out of sight, going to the front. Everybody's back in place. We're going to get the race control, get everybody back where they're supposed to be, back when they start. So they will start side by side. Davis will be on the inside, Martin to his outside. Grenier, Hodgson, Nelson, Daniels, Pion. And unfortunately, Browshers will start at the rear. She was the caution car. Get them doubled up. Flagman Joe Breggy says, let's go with the show, gentlemen and lady. Martin has found the outside groove at multiple times in competition so far this season. Looking for a victory here today to upset, but Chris Davis, the crafty veteran, is going to start on the inside. We're coming through the bumpies, out of service, restart zone. Green is out. Davis is in the lead. Grenier dives to the inside of the 4 of Colton Martin. Grenier looking to take the second spot and then run Davis down for the lead, but Martin says, oh no, we're not going that way. Battle ensues for second. Colton Martin takes that spot back away from Grenier. These two are buddies, but they're nothing but friends trying to get it done today. Martin back to the second spot. Your leader, Chris Davis, in the 16. He loves to see that battle going on back there because he's just going to take off. Chris Davis gets a little loose coming out of turn number 2. Martin will be looking, I'm telling you, in his sights to put that 16 right where he wants him to take the lead. Chris Davis coming to halfway. 10 to go this time by. Davis is still your leader. Colton Martin in the 4. I think Colton's probably sizing that up with that slide. Each time in turns 1 and 2, Martin seems to tighten that lead. It was 5 to 6 cars. Now we're down to a couple. He's looking to reel the fish in. Oh, contact between Hodgson and Daniels. Both get going. Chief starter Joe Breggy says, come on, come on. Davis, Martin, Grenier, and now the shaggin' wagon in the 65, Doug Nelson. Pion in the 0, looking to bring that car to the front. He's finally figured the handle out, given some racing room. We're coming up on lap traffic. Here comes your leaders. They're going to make the 40 of Daniels shiver just a little bit. Daniels running the low line. Here comes Martin, the ever opportunist. He may be using that 40 as a pick. The 40, contact with Martin on the lap car. Left front fenders showing damage on the 4 car. 5 to go this time by. Chris Davis still in the lead. Colton Martin tried to run him down, but the 31 of Hodgson is the lap car, as they'll have to play with that as they come down through. Martin, the ever opportunity. Colton Martin holding the pressure. Martin would love to see victory lane. Chris Davis, any way to have a birthday, here it comes. Chris Davis. Chris Davis is your winner. Give it up for the Pure Stock Division. Chris Davis is your winner. Colton Martin in for second. Carlos Grenier in the third spot. We'll go to victory lane and see what these folks have to say. As your winner takes his victory lap, we're going to go over here and see if we can have a chat. Mr. Grenier, what a great job, my buddy, Mike. Great job. What do you think of Hudson International Speedway now?
Oh, I love it. It's probably one of my favorite tracks. Chris had a really good race. Colton had a really fast car.
We're trying to get the camera thing going, guys, right?
I gotta thank my dad, my mom for letting me do it. They put a lot of money into it, and I can't do it without them. Love them. My uncle Dave and my uncle Gene, they put hours into the car, even when I'm not around. My sponsors, Black River Produce, JP Trucking, Ev's Auto, my Graham Billadu, she's put a lot of money into the car too. And thanks for the fans coming out and supporting us. Thank you. Oh, and happy Mother's Day, Mom.
He almost forgot he would have let Carlos Grenier in for the podium spot. This guy sometimes just amazes me. Come up this way, lad. Colton Martin, this is your star of tomorrow. Watch this kid. You're going to see him in a lot of spots. Buddy, that was a... With Daniels down there, the lap car, and then you were able to work your way through it. How does this make?
Good. That's 3 different tracks we've raced this year, and we've podiumed at all of them. We were right there at the end, but we weren't able to get around the lap car quick enough, so we just have to go work on that a little bit more. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I was just pushing a little too much and ran in the back of the lap car. Not much I could do there. That's just stupidness. Ed, happy Mother's Day, Mom. Todd, all of Jarvis Motorsports, my sponsors, Brody Ledoux, State Farm, Chico's Handyman Services, Healy's Carpet, 603 Metalworks, Revered Painting, Twin State Pool and Spa, Pool Water of Claremont, and Revered Painting.
Don't forget anybody, pal.
Yeah, all the guys that helped paint the car and all that stuff. So.
Such a great job. Colton Martin is your second place finisher. All right, birthday boy, it's your turn. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, happy birthday! I told him I was going to get him. He didn't believe me, but Chris and I go back a long ways. Partner, you get out to the front. You made the jump. You wheeled this thing. I don't know if you've got any right front left, but everything else, you look stellar today.
Yeah, car went pretty decent. I'm still trying to get used to this track. It's only my second time running here. I ran last race last year, had a top 5. To come out starting with a victory this year, it's pretty nice. I didn't win last year at all, so to start off with a win is really good.
Makes the season start that just much better.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations to Colton and can't remember his name, but
that's Carlos.
I'd like to thank my sponsors, McClure Tree Service, Phillips Design, Honda of Keene, Jack of All Blades, Buffer Model Parts. Couldn't do it without them.
Such a great gentleman racer, the birthday boy, Chris Davis, Victory Lane. We're ready for the Granite State Guns Range 6-shooters. 25 laps will be their feature event. Trying to get the track tidied up and make sure we're ready to go. Starting on the pole. Fresh off victory lane at the Duel at the Dog out of Grantham, New Hampshire, the 68 of Steve Miller Sr. To his outside, Seabrook, New Hampshire is where he hails from. That is Adam Knowles. Inside, in the 17, row number 2, that is Peter Jarek. In the 67, we call her Jenna the Jet. That is Jenna Bulio. I'll get it right yet. Row number 3, 43, that is Gary Grenier out of Lebanon, Maine. To his outside, the 25, that is Michael Yetton. Chris Chadwick in the 20, Steve Miller Jr. in the 79. Jeff Gilman Jr. out of Sandown, New Hampshire in the 00. 17X, that is Tristan Bodwell and Robert Taylor. Green is out. Miller takes the early jump. Jarek looks to get side by side. Would love to take position number 2. Jarek and Knowles battle side by side coming out of turn number 4. Chadwick spins and collects the 00 of Gilman. Heavy damage on Gilman's right front, in the front area there. Hood is damaged. Does not appear to have any fluid coming out of the car. Tough break for Gilman. The JD Plumbing sponsored 00. Chris Chapman in the 20 got all kinds of loose. He's off to the paddock area. Needs some attention to that car. Gilman looks to be motioning. He needs a help from assistance from a tow vehicle. Needs a push truck. Push truck being escorted around. Will get to the bumper of the 00. Bring him in. All right, field giving a signal to double up. We've got one lap of 25, the distance in the book. Steve Miller Sr., Adam Knowles will be his outside. I think it's a Jenna the Jet day. What do you folks think? Is that 67 got what it takes to get to the front? I think so. Here we go. As we approach the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone, we're going to see, stand by because the wrecker came flying out onto the track. Joe Breggy was ready to let the green rip. Good catch. Never quite seen a tow truck response race. That could be a little interesting. All right, here we go. Miller setting the pace. Caution's going to remain out. Caution will remain on the track. We're hearing the 00 of Gilman may be able to return. Race control is going to give him that opportunity, a courtesy lap. Green going this time is what we're told. Green flag will wave. Steve Miller will pace. Adam Knowles, Jarek right on the bumper of the 68. The Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone. Green will fly. Miller gets the jump on the inside. And Jarek swings the 17 into turns 1 and 2. Down the back stretch, it's him and Knowles toe to toe. Give the advantage by maybe a fender right now as they cross the line. Oh, they are almost dead even. Peter Jarek, Adam Knowles, Jenna Bolio sitting back there thinking to herself, wait till these guys make a mistake. Now, further back, it's Grenier, Jadden, and Steve Miller Jr. Gary Grenier, Michael Yaden, Steve Miller Jr. trying to work the inside with the 79, coming off a victory at the Claremont Motorsports Park this past Friday night. He and Dad put the show of show-ons. Steve Miller Sr., the Space Cowboy, out in the lead. Now Adam Knowles is going to challenge Jarek back down on the inside. Lets Jarek get corrected. He was looking to go underneath. Jenna Bolio not letting those boys out of her sight. I think she could get a podium at least. She's going to make Adam Knowles work for that third spot for sure. Michael Yedden and Steve Miller Jr. battling and further back in the pack. They are all over the back bumper. Yedden now trying to push Grenier out of the way. Gives him a little tap saying, dude, you got to go. Steve Miller setting the sight on victory. I don't even know how many he's got to his credit right now, but that's 68. The Thibodeau Racing Fireplace sponsored, fireworks sponsored 68. Seems to run hard everywhere, every track that he puts it on. Peter Jarek in the 17. Yaden now all over the back bumper of the 43 of Grenier. Grenier ducks it through the corner coming out of turns 1 and 2. Contact again from Yaden from the back. Steve Miller Jr. going to try to use that to his advantage, working the high line. The high banks here at Hudson International Speedway. Got a show going on right now, 4th, 5th spot. Grenier has it. Yedden and Miller Jr. would really love to take it away. Dustin through the grass. They will get by. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79. Michael Yedden in the 25. And now for second spot, looks like Knowles in the 22 is turning the wick up on that car, trying to get around Peter Jarek in the 17. But something has gone awry with the Jets car. She is up on the high side. The 67 is slowing and heading to pit lane. What a tough break. Caution out on the speedway. Debris in turn number 3, it looks like. Debris in the center of turn number 3. Track officials going to try to grab that. Get that out of the racing groove. Not really a spot you probably want to have something like that land. Lineup is good. Crossing him over is Chief Flagman Joe Breggy. Joe will bring him around. Miller will set the pace. So it's Miller Sr., Peter Jarek, Adam Knowles, and Steve Miller Jr. now working his way up. Michael Yetton, Chadwick, Tristan Budwell in the 17. Oh, some contact. Holy moly. Green is not going to fly, guys, doing it that way. Miller and Jarek jamming around, pushing around, shoving each other away. And it looks like Jarek's going to get the worst of that deal. It looks like he's got a flat left front from our advantage point. Heading to the pit area will be the 17 of Peter Jarek. He and Miller had quite a bit of contact coming through the bumpy auto service restart zone. Jarek going to hopefully get that tire changed, get back out here on the tracks. Track officials are with him now.
change. That's right, you don't drink this one.
We haven't, no, diet's fine.
All right, from our status point here, let's look, because what will be started is going to be finished. Give it up for Jarek. He's back in competition. Here comes the 17. Joe Breggy says, come on, gents and lady, let's get this thing ready to rock and roll. Finish out 25-lap distance feature. Steve Miller is on the inside. Adam Knowles to his outside. Steve Miller Jr. in the 79 in the third spot. Michael Yetton in the 25. Chris Chadwick in the 20. Tristan Bodwell in the 17. And after a flat being changed, Peter Jarrett's in that 17. He's going to work his way back up to the front, but laps are going to count. As we approach the Bumpy's Auto restart zone, Joe Breggy says, let's get rolling. Adam Knowles to the outside, going to make the challenge on Steve Miller, but contact between Chadwick and Jarrett in the back. Dusting up the inside redesigned field now. Have to replant some grass seed. Chadwick still getting loose. Him and Jarek are at the back, dicing it up. That's given Michael Yetton in the 25 the advantage. Dives underneath the 22, coming out of 3 and 4, looking to take the second spot, but Knowles has it at the line. Steve Miller Sr. and never count out, looking for the right spot at the right time. If Yetton and Knowles get too carried away, Junior's right there in the 79. Steve Miller Jr. would love to go back to victory lane. Yetton and Knowles now mixing and dicing it up, coming out of turn number 4. Knowles, Yetton on the inside, Knowles to the outside, and here comes Steve Miller Jr. He's going to look to plant his roots in that mix-up. Steve Miller Sr., we're almost 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. We'll have 5 laps to go, and it's undecided. Miller looks like as long as he stays clean, he'll be fine, but the threesome behind him sure would love to change that mix-up. Battle is for second, third, and Tristan Bodwell. Maybe she gets that spot. She's just got to stay clean, stay out of trouble. Yetton down to the inside. Knowles still working the outside. Steve Miller Jr. keeps getting a fender in there on Knowles. He's just waiting for opportunity, but laps are winding down. Steve Miller Jr. still out, Senior still out front. Yetton and Knowles still duking it out for that second spot. Knowles looks like he has an advantage because the 25 New Hampshire gets loose. Challenging back, here comes Yetton. White flag, got one more lap to get it done. Coming to the checkered, put your hands together, Steve Miller Sr. Adam Knowles in for second. Michael Yetton for third. Steve Miller Jr. in fourth. Tristan Bodwell and Jarek will take out, along with Chadwick and Bolio. Round out your field. All right, for you 25 New Hampshire fans, Michael, boy, did you and Knowles put on a show. You were sliding, he was diving, he was working the outside, you were working the inside, but you come back with a podium.
Yeah, I was trying my hardest to get by him. I did something messed up in the steering of my car halfway through that race.
Well, whether it was messed up or not, it was enough to get you to the podium. And who do you have to thank to get you here?
MTM Flooring, Pioneer Automotive, Tormeo Industries, OTP, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, and I'm missing one, I think.
Oh, we got to go to the other side, folks. We'll get one in the cap.
MP Heating and Cooling as well. Thank you, everybody, and happy Mother's Day to my mom. Sorry I couldn't get you a win this year. Got you it last year.
Yeah, you were working towards it. Mike Yadden in for third spot. Well, we've met in victory lane before. Adam Knowles will take the second spot. Adam, you and Michael were dicing it up, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that was a blast hanging it on the outside for that long. It's definitely a workout. I just want to thank Exeter Bowling Lanes, JD and Sons Stick and Mosquito, and Holland's Detailing.
Adam Knowles in for second spot. Let's see if we can get our victor up here. Boy, it seems like we've met in this spot somewhere along. Steve Miller Sr.
Oh, man, what a race. I got to start with thanking my wife here on Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to my mother in Florida. Got to start with those two. My wife is at every single race supporting my son and I. Looked like he made it up to fourth and was a little under the weather today, so I'm not sure if that was a factor, but I think my car's a little bent after that restart.
You had a little bump and grind going on there, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I got a little push sideways on the restart, but still was able to hang on to the front row. Definitely can see it in my rear tires here, and it definitely handled different at the end, for sure.
Who helped you get it here, Steve?
Got to thank my hood sponsor, Milne Travel, and, of course, Harpoon Brewery, my employer, and Long Trail Brewing Company. Fired Up Pizza. Got a shout out to my buddy Sean that's with me in the stands today. And let's see, we've got Bolio Concrete, Hillside Property Maintenance, CNR Service, and Judd's Automotive as well.
Awesome job. The Space Cowboy, Steve Miller Sr. special guest throwing the green today. That's the birthday boy of Andrew McCaffrey. Joe Frazier in the 37. Jets out to the front. Heath DeButch making stout work with the 76. Morocco with the 7. The 32 of Tyler Johns got the Monte Carlo rolling. The 5 of Brandon Mercier got the Tornado Tormino ready to roll to the front. The 59, that's Chrissy Rizzuto out of Auburn, New Hampshire. Black Flag Podcast Ridge Runners on the track. 25 laps is their distance. Thank you to Charlie Sanborn and his partners with the Black Flag Podcast for sponsoring our Ridge Runner division here at the Hudson International Speedway. Charlie, I'll get the pleasure to work with side by side at the Lee USA Speedway later on this season. So far, the 37J of Joe Frazier. Man, that car is stout. Came out on the pole, gonna try to go from green to checkers. Battling for third right now is Johns and Morocco, the 32 and the 7. We saw them battling during their heat race. The Camaro still holds the line. The Monte Carlo would love to take it away. Joe Gardner in the 0-2. Looks to go to the high side, going to get out of the leader's way that way. He may be just trying to get some track time in. Having some issues with the 0-2. We'll have to wish him his best. Get the feel here at the Hudson International Speedway. But it's all been Joe Frazier in the 37, leading the way. Heath DeButch in the 76. Two sharp-looking Monte Carlos. G-Body racing at its finest. A Gen Camaro versus a Monte Carlo G-Body further back for third. Morocco and Johns. Morocco washes up coming out of turn number 4. Johns looking to go to his outside, would love to make that battle even tighter. Looking to the outside as they come down the backstretch. Maybe the lap car of the 0-2 may have some interference in this. They both get cleanly by. 15 are in the books. Distance is 25. Joe Frazier, a 37J, looking really, really solid. Finding his marks, hitting all those marks. DeButch will have his work cut out for him if he's looking to get there, because he's got him by almost a half a track. Battle still going on in the third place position right now. Morocco currently holds it in the 7, and Johns is in the 32. Johns is looking to try to make that podium shot. Looks to the outside as they go by this time. Gets to the back bumper coming out of turn number 4. Here he goes, making the challenge here on the front stretch. They cross the line side by side as they come into turns 1 and 2. Exiting the corner. Can the 32 put the pedal down, hold it into the corner, or does the 7 of Morocco chase him up just that much higher? 5 to go. Your leader still is Joe Frazier. Heath DeButz in second. Lap car of the 02. He's going to take it off in the pit area. Gardner says whatever's going on is going on. 2 laps to go. Frazier gets the white flag. DeButz still in second. Johns, all kinds of squirrels coming out of turn number 4. Still wants to be that podium fight, but Frazier takes your win. Heath DeButz in for second. Here we go, coming out of 3. It's anyone's race. Rich Morocco.
That it's fun.
In for the podium finish, Rich Morocco. By the way, Ben, he says he will fix the grass for you. Buddy, you and Mr. Johns were working.
All I needed to do was slip up once. He was right there. He's a fast competitor and a damn good driver. I felt him on the quarter panel. I'm going, come on, Ricky, one more lap. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, don't screw up.
Who else you get in here, buddy?
I'd like to thank all my friends, Frank Marabito, Randy Mercier, Senior, Junior, and also Brandon Mercier for giving me a very big hand in everything I do.
Awesome job. Ricky Morocco in for the podium. Come on over this way, Sunshine. Good, man. Congratulations. You didn't have enough to get to him. You probably knew he was way out ahead of you. But you know what? A good run.
Thank you. It was awesome. It was good out there being with everybody out here today. I can't thank everybody enough who helped. NRG Fuel, the Frazier family for sure, Eagle Air Solutions. Everybody works really hard to put this car together, and I can't thank them enough.
Great job. Heath DeButz in for second. Let's go get Smokin' Joe here into the run as we finish up and tidy up photos, because we have to get photos in. Ooh. He's got to put some hardware down, but give it up for Joey Frazier. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, you just got out there. You look like you're on a Sunday drive.
Well, this car was definitely bad fast today. As no thank to my crew and everything. My dad, we stayed up until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock last night to get all 3 cars done. It's unfortunate that my brother blew a motor during practice. We'll have to see him out there, but I don't shut up. I apologize. I just got to thank a lot of people. First off, my mom for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to her and my grandmother as well. Wish you could make it out here as well, but just a whole bunch of people. I'll try not to forget anybody. First off, my dad, like I said, ton of hours in this car. My buddy Heath, who got second, awesome job to him. Larry DeGrave, owner of the car. All my sponsors, NRG Fuels, Eagle Air Solutions, Paul Matthews, JAR Race Motors. Just an awesome night, and I just glad to be here with a great just facility and everything with Steve Grant and everything. So just great night.
Great night. Win number 1 of many this season, Joey Frazier. Sophie Marshall. Sophie Marshall, come on to the flag stand, young lady. We have someone who's going to win a new boys bicycle from Bumpy's Auto. Here we go, Mr. Grant. 13909. Come on down, claim your bike from Bumpy's Auto Service. Come on down. Now, a girl's bike one more time. 14134. 14134. And you have just won a girl's bike. We've got multiple winners. Come on, guys. Come on down. Grab your bikes. Courtesy of Bumpy's Auto.
And we got the 50-50 now.
Now, we're going to give away some dough. Anybody here that doesn't like cash? Just wondering. All right, what's the pot, Mr. Grant?
I tell you the truth, I don't know.
Oh.
I should know that.
He should know, but he doesn't, but that's okay. You'll still get it. Here we go. And the winning ticket is 914045. 914045. The lady says it's mine. Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, and we got the...
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please rise. If you are a first responder, military, pastor, present, please, folks, give these folks a great round of applause because they're the ones that come running in and keep our freedom to be what it is. So I have two young people. They say they're nervous about this. They're not going to do anything but greatness in presenting today's national anthem.
When do we go? Now. 3, 2, 1. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh my God, my voice.
Awesome, awesome job. Give them another round. Good job, man. Time on the girls' bike. It is 14134. 14134. Courtesy of Bumpy's Auto Service. Come claim your prize.
If not, I'm going to have you take these. I'm going to have you take these up and you can draw it up.
Okay, so we need your help. The Northeast Auto Imports presents late models. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, start your engine. Northeast Auto Imports, this is 30 laps. Starting on the pole, sorry, Chuck Dehaney into 33 out of Drake, Massachusetts. To his outside in a 21, that is Mitchell Wendell. Milton Duran Billy Clement Jr., Robbie Streeter. Wave to him, guys. Let him know you're here. Wave. In the 33 junior, that is Billy Clement Jr. The 55, that is Robbie Streeter. The 22, for Austin Erickson. The 38, Nick Provedio. Chris Schroeder in the 66. Robert Hagar in the 91. Andrew Morin in the 30. The 07 is Mike Williams. The 45, Oscar the Grouch Leclerc. In the 33X. Gave him kudos on Dehaney's win. Sorry about that. Daniel Palin. John Sousa. John Vinyl. Randy Mercier. Stephen DuBois. We're ready to go, folks. As they approach the Bumpy's Auto Service restart zone, green is out. Wendell out to the outside. Duran to the inside. We're 3 wide. Something's gotta give. Milton Duran running the 08 to the front. The Renfrew sponsored Racing 08 now squares off with Wendell on the outside. They put the sandwich in contact to the 33 at Dehaney. Oh, hard contact. Multiple cars involved. Sousa. Vinyl. Hagar. Gonna have to do some sheet metal and some tire work in that incident caused in turn number 1, right in the middle, almost at the pit entrance area. Lots of scrap metal, lots of fiberglass. Austin Erickson on the backstretch getting the track officials to take a look at his 22. Chuck Dehaney getting services rendered by the folks from Speedway Safety. Can't thank them enough for being on point and providing such great quality care to our participants and anybody here at the Hudson International Speedway that should need them. Probably not truly any way that these folks wanted to start their racing season, but let's see. Looks like a lot of scrambling going on in the paddock area, trying to put those cars back together, get tires replaced, whatever needs to happen to get them back onto the track. Erickson's going to have to be pulled up from the Hudson Speedway tow truck. Looks like he's going to, unfortunately, have to be towed off. Tough break for the 22. Had a solid heat run. Dehaney's trying to make the look like a modified, that late model. Left his fender aside, but maybe it'll make it a little cooler to run that way. Greatest thing about Nastrovision right now is you're seeing the replay of everything that took place, and the officials are watching that same replay, looking to see what happened, who caused it, and what took place. All right, Williams in the 07, looks like he's returning. Hagar looks to be right behind him. We got 2 laps into a 30-lap feature event. A melee that happened in turns 1 and 2. Hagar's got no left rear quarter or rear bumper cover. It looks like that's had to be removed, or he actually left that in the track. Billy Clements Jr. is going to come back onto the race surface, been to the attention of his crew. Shakes out. Look where Robbie Streeter in the 55 is. Sometimes it's just being out of the way when the havoc happens that you're going to be safe. Milton Duran, they stacked it up 3 wide so he could get to the lead. He's there now. Mitchell Wendell says, I'm going to change that, I hope. Clement Jr. also back off into the pit area. Dehaney, he's coming back onto the race surface. Track officials will hold him up till they get everybody by. Hopefully they get clear. He was involved in the incident, so he will have to go to the back of the field with the rest of those who were involved. Chris Schroeder, what a great job in that 66K. Right up in a 4th spot. As you heard us talk earlier, that 88 car, always a fond number for me in racing. Belonged to a great friend of mine for an awful long time, John Vinyl. He said, 2nd season, 1st full season in this late model. His dad was awesome to say that he had won more 2nd place titles here than anyone. Held the record for most 2nd place finishes at one point. But he was finishing to guys like Fiandaca and the guys who made the Hudson International Speedway, the famous speedway that it is. New Hampshire's longest running short track racing provided here at the Hudson International Speedway. We've saw multiple people enter that new grassed in area and the pavement. Who would like to see a figure 8 race here? If you've never seen one and you've never been to one, they are beyond wild. Timing is everything for sure. I want to give a special shout out to a special lady. You know, I said to my wife, I said, hey, guess what? I've got an exciting thing we're going to do on Sunday for Mother's Day. And she said, yeah, what? I said, you get to go with me to Hudson International Speedway. Happy Mother's Day, sweetie. Thanks for hanging with me. All right, here we go. All right, field doubled up. We're going to try to get the rest of the 30-lap feature event in. Milton Duran and Mitchell Wendell firing off green. We're back underway. Duran drops it low. Here comes Chris Schroeder in the 66. Oh, contact between him and the 55 of Robbie Streeter. Streeter around on the backstretch. That'll be a no start to lap number 3. We welcome the folks joining us here at the Hudson International Speedway again for our NastraVision. Those folks watching at NastraVision.com. If you can't be with us here or at any of the Nastra-related racetracks, we invite you to subscribe to our NastraVision.com. It is a pay-per-view site. You pay the same fee if you want to do individual racing as folks do to get into every track, which is phenomenal. There's other venues out there that's not the case. Trying to figure out a position for some of these cats that were working their way up through the field. Streeter is the caution car. He will go to the tail of the lead lap. The 38 of Nick Predeview, Methuen, Mass native, doing a great job. He's trying to stay out of trouble. Joe Breggy says, let's go, folks, see if we can get this one on to the finish line. Milton Duran, Mitchell Wendell to his outside. Schroeder. And there's Aaron Morin and Oscar the Grouch. Oscar Leclerc at 45. Green's back out. Wendell takes the advantage, working the top line. Side by side, they come out of turn number 2 down the back stretch. Wendell gets a little offset, and Duran looks to hammer down the 08. Chris Schroeder in the 66K coming right in there in the mix. Schroeder down to the bottom, hooked to the rear bumper of the 08, gets side by side with Wendell. Now trying to work his way into the leader, get the leader to move. Either Duran's got to go or Schroeder's going to work his way to him. Schroeder powers it coming out of turn number 2. You heard him hit the pedal. Here he comes. He takes the second spot as they cross the finish line. Lap number 5 in the books. Milton Duran got the 66 of Chris Schroeder all over him. Duran going to have at least a rear view mirror view of the 66K. Mike Williams, 07, back further in the field. Parts look like they're kind of dangling there. John Vinyl in the 88 sideways coming out of turn number 4. Vinyl still trying to get that rookie donation away from him. This is his first complete season. Contact between the 08 and the 66. Schroeder trying to get Duran to choose a line, or maybe does he try to choose it for him? Schroeder dives into turn number 3, washes up Duran to the outside. Chris Schroeder goes to the front. Oh, Wendell into the grass area, still moving, no caution on the speedway. Chris Schroeder in that 66, a demanding, gone to the front. Now, Milton Duran in second spot has got the 30 of Andrew Morin. Morin and Oscar Leclerc. Oh, contact between Leclerc and Vinyl, back in the 4th position. Now, Chuck Dehaney with a missing piece car, working that 33 up through the field. Dominant in his heat victory. I still owe him a huge apology. I'll go down and talk to him. Sorry, I miscaled his car. Robbie Streeter showed a little smoke coming off of turn number 4. He's got a tire rub from the incident earlier. Schroeder took over the lead at lap 11 and is not looking back. The 66K, Robbie Hagar, in the 91, saw Robert go off into the pits, still suffering from the damage of the early incident. He's here with just one gentleman and himself, so kind of hard to piece it all back together. A battle ensues now. Here comes Oscar Leclerc. He has got that 45 up to the back bumper of the 30 of Morin. He and Andrew Morin have almost been equal in times. Great run for Oscar. Crafty veteran knows his way here around the Hudson International Speedway. But it's all been Chris Schroeder. Schroeder, out of Haverhill, Massachusetts, loves the Hudson International Speedway. Milton Duran, Andrew Morin, second and third. Oscar Leclerc in fourth. Now gets back to the bumper of the 30 of Morin. Oscar would love to jump up to that podium spot. See if he can get up there and challenge Morin. John Vinyl in the 88. What a great run he's having, sitting in fifth spot. But Dehaney in the 33 has caught him. Ten to go. Chris Schroeder rocking the 66K to the front. Now pacing himself, marking his line. Oscar the Grouch gets a great run off the backstretch, gets him tighter to Morin. Maybe has 15 feet more to go. Maybe he can make that challenge to get to the podium spot. But he's got his hands full with Vinyl, who sits there in the fifth position. Five to go this time by Chris Schroeder. Milton Duran. Now some contact between Vinyl and Haney for the fifth spot. Dehaney dives to the underside of that car. Brings that 33, missing pieces and all, right beside the 88. Looking to challenge. He wants the fifth spot, and then he starts to reel in the Grouch. Contact between Vinyl and Dehaney runs him up the track. White lap, single, one more lap to go for Schroeder. Chris Schroeder winds up through turn number 4 and takes the win. Milton Duran in for second. Andrew Morin for third. Dehaney will finish fifth. Oscar the Grouch, what a great job finishing in fourth spot. John Vinyl, Mike Williams with Flapping and the Breeze and all, John Sousa. We'll head to Victory Lane to talk to your winners. Overheating and all. Podium finish for Andrew.
Hello.
Buddy, I'm telling you. What do you think? Is that just a little hot?
It's a little hot, yeah. The car's.
I think the steam's got to all of us, including my head.
Oh yeah. Do I thank everyone?
Absolutely.
Can I thank my dad, my mom? Happy Mother's Day.
Absolutely. Never forget Mom.
Yeah. Everyone that helps on the car. Frank from FF Performance. Steve Landry. SL Dion Landscaping. There's so many endless people to help out on the car.
It's a family affair. Racing is what it is. I watch more families spend more time with race cars sometimes than they do with each other, but it's definitely quality time when you can get here. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. I got to thank my wife, too, and my little boy at home. My bad.
Never forget those. We'll work through it. Well, champ, last year you were the champion at the USA Speedway. This season, you start off on second place. It's not going to hurt. Milton Duran.
Yeah, it was a good run. The car's never been this good here, so that's good. I can't thank Little Jimmy enough and Big Jim for working on it and getting it ready. And we're going to have to do a little bit of homework to catch up to Chris, but that's just transferring between tracks. We'll get him. But it's a fun race. I just got to thank R&R Public Wholesalers and Renfrew Motorsports and everybody that helps out. My mom, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Jimmy, Big Jim, Missy, my girlfriend, and everybody that helps out.
Such a great young man, a great shoe. Milton Duran. See if we can get over here. Talk to Mr. Schroeder. Oh, look at that. A special shirt. Come on over here and take a visit. Chris Schroeder is your champion for today. Hard. You were an opportunist, my friend. You saw a window opening, and you tried to sneak in there. You guys made it 3 wide at one point, and that's what these folks were wanting to see.
Yeah, I hats off to Milt. I've known Milton for years, and we always run good together, and it was good racing with them. I knew we had a good car all day, and I know I just had to avoid those cautions. I thought I was in trouble when Chuck bounced off of me, but didn't slow the car down. So I'm happy. I can't thank my dad, my cousin, my mom, and Uncle Brian enough. This car was in pieces a week and a half ago, and we got it all together and worked hard all week, and I'm happy. So I'm looking forward to the Mighty Mike. That's the race I want to win this year.
Looking forward to victory number 2, but he'll celebrate this one. Chris Schroeder. who came to see open wheel modified action. Come on, folks, let me hear you. Let them hear you. Starting on the poles, got one victory this season all the way at the Claremont Motorsports Park. He is the Superman. That is Aaron Fellows. Next on the grid, Merrimack, New Hampshire, the Ride More sponsored 02. That is Jeff Rollins. Showing Belchertown, Mass as home base in the 69. Give it up for Josh Carey. This young man, I've never seen a young man smile more than Ryan Priest when you have a conversation with him. In the 44, that is Jesse Jacobitis. In the 2, the Barnard-sponsored race car. That is the Triton Automotive number 2 for last year's Monadnock Speedway modified champ, Tyler Leary. You know, sometimes timing is everything. As they were taking their hot laps, putting the heat into those wide oval tires, the last person starting on the grid does so much work with the Hudson Heroes program. Also a great sponsor at many, many NASTRA tracks. That is Mike Marshall. The distance, 30 laps. Competition for the ground pounding modifieds. Fellows will lead Jeff Rollins, Jared Carey, Jacobitis, Leary, and Mike Marshall. Green is going to fly, and Josh was our guest flagger. What a great job. Fellows to the inside. Contact between he and Rollins. Rollins rockets that 02 to the front. Here comes Leary in the 2, the Triton Automotive sponsored 2, that orange car. He hasn't skipped a beat since his last season. Wheels that one and the family modified, the 11X. Fresh from Stafford Springs just the other night. But it right now is Rollins. Lap number 3, rolling that 02. Josh Carey, that 69, that beautiful black and green 69. Looks solid in practice. I've seen it in competition before. The Carey family really knows how to get that car tuned in. But right now, the lead belongs to Jeff Rollins. Longtime competitor Rollins. Sorry, I was getting summons through the window at the same time. Jeff Rollins in that 02. Aaron Fellows in the 29. Tyler Leary. Now, Leary looking to challenge for the second spot. Leary looking at that chrome horn. Oh, Carey off the pace coming out of turn number 2. Slid that 69 up towards the top of the track. Rollins setting the pace. Coming to lap number 10. He is still your leader, the 29 of Fellows. Leary, the 69 of Carey, 44 of Jacobitis, and Mike Marshall in that gorgeous purple, yellowed number 29. Leary tightening up, wants to get to the back bumper. Does get there coming out of turn number 4, but Fellows will still hold the second spot. Fellows goes wide. Leary looking to tuck down. Now's going to see his opening as Fellows goes high, but not going to be able to get it done that time. Challenge again is for second. Tyler Leary in the 2 car. On the rear rail of the 29. Fellows has got to be, spotters got to be saying he is on the draft. Jeff Rollins has probably stretched out I would consider almost a 10-car lead over second spot. 0.9 seconds is the time lead. 1.9, sorry. Rollins had a new car when we saw him at Claremont Motorsports Park the other night. This old car he's been extremely competitive with for many seasons. Sometimes you just dust off the old car and take that one with you. You know what she's going to do. And right now, Rollins is got it going on. Jacobitis in the 44 seems to have slowed coming down the front stretch. He's got issues with that 44 car, taking it off to the pits. He's got a great mastermind working with that team in Russ Hersey. You've probably never heard that name in short track racing in New England. Saw him down there coaching and working. Russ is a great asset to have in your corner. Rollins now stretches out almost a 12 to 15 car length lead for the top spot. Battle still is ensuing between Fellows and Leary. Rollins coming up on the lap car of Mike Marshall in the 29. Fellows is now getting the wick turned up by Leary. Leary has really all of a sudden either found something that was missing in the 2 car, but now is back to the rear bumper of that 29 New Hampshire of Fellows. 24 in the books. We're coming around with 5 to go this time by. 5 to go. Now, contact between Leary and Fellows. Leary laid that number 2 car in. But, being the crafty racer he is, at least he was able to catch it. That could have been a whole lot worse. Two laps to go for Jeff Rollins. Rollins has the command over the lead. White flag is out. Here comes Leary to the back bumper of Fellows again. Doesn't want to settle for a podium for sure. Checkers for Jeff Rollins. Aaron Fellows, Tyler Leary, Jason Carey, and Mike Marshall round out your field. That is modified action.
Oh, okay. All right, just shut it down. Okay.
We'll run out the first call for the spectator one-on-one drags. Spectator one-on-one drags. You're up next. Try to interrupt a conversation, getting some advice going back and forth for positions 2 and 3. But in the podium spot, I'm telling you what, buddy, it's awesome to see you here. Tyler Leary.
Yeah, it was a good run. I didn't want to get into Aaron too bad. Aaron's a class act, and we always run good with these guys. So congrats to him and Jeff on the 1-2 finish. And honestly, running with these guys in a home-built chassis is pretty impressive just by itself. These guys are up there with their Troyers, and we're back here with our awesome Barnard race cars. So thanks to all the fans for coming out today. Hudson Speedway for the constant improvements and giving us racers a place to race.
Love to have you. Tyler Leary for the podium spot. We'll see if we can ram down the Superman over here, get him to come over and chat with us. Aaron, come on over and join us, my friend. Give it up, folks, for Aaron Fellows in for the second place shot. And no doing what you did to Roby the other night.
Brian and I are friends, and that was a buddy system deal, and I should have run him a little bit harder, but that's the way it goes. But these guys, Tyler, he's a class act guy. He got underneath me. I gave him about 2.5 inches. He didn't rub me. I didn't, do anything. I held my line. We came off, rubbed a little bit. I just had enough to get in front of him. But yeah, thank you everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Hopefully my wife's watching. She's madder than a wet hen because I'm here. But, I got to thank all the mothers, all the grandmothers, everybody. It's our dream to come out here and race. So that's good. Thank you, Ben, giving us a great place. This place is amazing, the work he's done all winter. But thank you, Hudson Speedway. Thank my sponsor, the Valley Building, Victor Crete, New Hampshire Lottery, all my family. My twins came down today. They were my crew, my daughter and son, so that was good. And I'm not sure where the next race is, but we'll definitely be back for the big race in whenever it is, the end of the month. But thank you, everybody, for coming out. I appreciate it, whether, whatever reasoning you're here. Thank you.
Aaron Fellows, the Superman, in the second spot. And I've mistakenly called this guy so many times the wrong Rollins, but Jeff Rollins in victory lane, victory number 1 for 2023. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, the car was really, really good. I was waiting. I thought Aaron was going to catch back up to me, so I was trying to keep my distance there. And it's tough when you don't put on laps, so I understand that. I definitely got to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone that comes out and helping us instead of being with their family or whatever on a Sunday. Definitely going to thank Ridemore, Bombico, everyone that helps us out with tire money and everything. So it's good to be up here early in the season.
Take it on early in the season. This won't be victory lane number 1. Jeff Rollins.